Right, ladies and gents, welcome back to Big Nez Bootcamp. And what we're going to be jumping into today is bias, and then we're going to do another little example of the trading strategy in action on the charts. So what I'm going to do is just whip myself up into the Z corner here. And what we covered last time, I'm going to quickly dive over it again. We went over the confluences we have on the chart. So our sweep, our fake out, our fractal BOS, and then setting limits for the entry. So we went over the session times as well, 0 to midnight to 8 o'clock for the Asian session, 8 o'clock to 1 or 14:30 for the London session, and the New York session is after that. But then I've actually added here, we've got our last entry at 18:45. So it's a bit of extra information to take in here. We want to be setting alerts to minimize the time on the charts. And last time I showed you a sell position. So today I'm going to be showing you a buy position. And another little term for this is a short and a long. And yeah, that's just a technical term that traders use. And we are building out this little Miro here quite nicely, to be honest. So this is what we've learned so far. We covered all of this stuff in part 1, covered all of this in part 2. And we're going to dive straight in, boys, because I don't want to waste your time. Well, boys and girls, you never know. So, bias. What I've actually done here is I've got a little indicator that I made on the chart called session markers. This basically just marks out the sessions for me, so I don't have to do the vertical lines. Nice and easy. And what we're going to do is we're going to go onto the 4-hour chart here. So I did say before we are going to be using the 4-hour chart, and this is why. So what we're going to do is we are going to look at all of the fractals on the chart. And I actually had someone message me saying, what the fuck is a fractal? And I thought I covered it in the last episode, but I'm going to go over it again. All you have to do is come into indicators up here and search in fractals by Rachel T. We don't need to know the theory behind this. This is just what the back-tested data has shown to be reliable. So chuck it on, fractals by Rachel T. Boom. And then what we're going to do on the 4-hour chart is, if you remember last time we looked for the fractal break of structure. All we're going to be doing is looking for that exact same thing on the 4-hour chart. So we're going to trace back these fractals here. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. So we have had our fractal break of structure here, because the body of the candle, remember, bodies are the color part, wicks are the snail trail left behind. The body has closed through our fractal here, our previous fractal. So what that means is we are looking for a buy. That is how simple it is. Yeah. So now we're going to jump onto the 5-minute chart, as always. And we are going to, in this instance, there was no setup in the London session. So we are going to wait until the New York session opens at 1 o'clock. So, there we go. The London session opens here. And what we want to do, because we are looking to buy the market, we are going to be marking out the low. So what I'm going to do is chuck on this little indicator here. Sorry if it looks a bit techie, but all it does is mark out the previous session's highs and lows. So it just basically makes my life easier when I'm on the chart. I don't have to, it saves a few seconds really. So the minimal chart time is ideal. Just spend as little time on the charts as possible. So yeah, it's just nice and easy, you know. We can do other things, go about our life. So now, once we have our low marked out on the chart, we know we're looking for a buy position. And if I come up into this section here, just to remind you, if we come down 1, 2, 3, 4, we have our long and short position. That's why I told you them other versions of saying it earlier, because that is how you find the visual representation of projection. So that would be betting on the market going up. In this case, this would be our risk area, and then this little middle line here would be our entry price. So we are currently looking for a buy, so we've set a notification on the London low in this case, and we are going to be waiting for that notification to go off. So we're not looking at our phone, maybe we're being present with our family, having a nice time, working on some other business stuff. Boom, we get our notification here. And what I'm actually going to do is just bring it back a little tad here. So we will get our notification here. And then at this point, what we want to do is apply the fake out zone tool. So we're going to look at the highest point in the previous and current session, and we are going to get the Fibonacci tool, which we covered last time, and we are going to drag it down here. I'm going to put that fake out template on so you guys can see the blue line. And what I'm doing is I'm actually prepping this for when our first bullish candle forms. So, boom, we get our first bullish candle, and say we had another down candle here, then the bullish candle, we'd obviously have it at the lowest possible point. Yeah. So now we've had our fake out zone be formed. What we can do is set a notification on the blue line, the fake out zone line here. So we've got a nice notification on the fake out zone line, and we are going to do the same thing again. We're going to get off the charts and do what we want, go about our life, and then boom, instant fake out. So we've got to jump back on the charts and set a notification at the most recent fractal high. But like I said in the last video, we are going to be proactive. In this case, we want to be making sure there are no new fractals being formed on the chart. So here we go, look, we get another fractal formed. So we would have to then set a notification on that fractal. So we're literally going to get a line here, boom, set a notification on that. And then we are just waiting. Boom. We get our break of structure here. And what we're going to do is we're going to grab our fib tool. And we are going to set up our entry. The exact same as last time. We are going to put our entry price on the red line. Stop loss on the red line. Target a fixed 1 to 3. What does 1 to 3 mean? It is the risk to reward ratio. So we are risking 1R and we're going to be making 3R. For example, we're on a 10k account. We've just risked 100 and our profit target is 300. And now all we're going to do is wait until our order gets filled. Boom. We've been tagged into the market in this situation here. So we are currently now in a trade. And what we're going to do is we are going to put our phone away once again, or put our computer, turn our computer down, or just turn off the tab, and we are going to set and forget, because we do not want to be just sat there like looking on the charts. This way of trading, the beauty of it is it's fully mechanical, so we don't have to worry about what's happened on the chart, because it's literally just executing the edge and going about our day, and it doesn't take much time. It's just nice and easy. So yeah, we're going to let it play out. Boom. Take a loss, minus 1R. And that is pretty much that in terms of bias. This is going to be a lot shorter of a video than the first two, because in the first two we really went in depth. But what I want to do is just quickly recap why we took this trade here. And it is the same, and it is because we had the recent 4-hour fractal BOS. Now, right here, you might be wondering, Nez, but isn't there a BOS here? Well, in this situation, and when we're back testing, which is on the replay mode like I'm doing now, we are not taking the current candle that's forming. So in this situation here, this candle, when we're back testing, has just like instantly been put in on the chart. But if we were watching this live, this candle here would still be forming. So we don't count that as a break of structure until the candle is fully closed. So if I go into the live market now, as we can see, that candle has now fully closed, and we have actually had a break of structure to the downside. So if we are trading the full mech tomorrow, which we're not going to be because it's Saturday, but on Monday, we would be looking for sell positions. So I hope that clears up bias and a little run through again of the strategy. And yeah, man, next video we are going to be talking about the execution platforms. I believe that's what I put in here. Yeah, so we're going to be talking about the execution platforms we're going to be using to actually place these trades, because I've now shown you how to get it on the trading view, set the alerts, find the trades, and find your opportunities in the market. And in the next video, I'm going to go through actually executing these trades, so it's not just a drawing on a screen, because all TradingView is, unless you've got your broker connected to TradingView, is just a visual tool. So we're actually going to be going into how to execute the trades, what softwares to use for what companies, and then after that we're going to be going through how to actually utilize all this information, all the execution platforms, all the softwares, all the companies, to scale your trading and go from 10k in funding, which is going to be your first funded account pass, hopefully, to over 6 figures in funding, which I've now managed to achieve, which is pretty gas. So that's the Big Nez, and I hope you enjoyed Bootcamp episode 3 on bias. I shall see you guys in the next one.